Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well. I wanted to continue on my legend series, and today I wanted to give someone who was an absolute entertainer who entertained cricket crowds all around the world, and someone who scored the first triple century in Test cricket for New Zealand. And he's also the fastest century maker in Test cricket of just 54 balls, and someone who was a brave captain, and someone who was very famous for his aggressive batting, his positive approach to batting, and really played shots all around the wicket. And someone who took New Zealand to the 2015 World Cup finals and also the Champions Trophy finals. And someone who was the second only New Zealand cricketer to be invited to deliver the prestigious Spirit of Cricket Cowdrey speech, MCC's Spirit of Cricket Cowdrey speech after Martin Crowe. He was the second New Zealander to be invited for that speech. And I'm talking about New Zealand's dashing wicketkeeper batsman Brendon McCullum. He was born 27th September 1981 in Dunedin, New Zealand, and he played 101 Test matches for New Zealand, and he scored 6,453 runs, and he scored 12 hundreds in Test cricket, and his highest was 302, which came against India. And New Zealand were in all sorts of trouble, and they finished that innings 680 for 8 declared, and that was the highest score that New Zealand had ever scored in Test cricket, and is also the it's the highest ever third innings total in a Test match, 680 for 8 declared against India. And in one day internationals, he played 260 matches and he scored 6,083 runs, and he scored 500s as well in one day where he was unbelievably difficult to bowl to. And he also scored more than 2,000 runs in T20 internationals, and he has scored 200s as well in T20s. He is the first player to score 2,000 runs in T20s, and he's also the first batsman to score 200s in T20 internationals. And he's also the first, the first match at IPL in 2008. I was in South Africa, I remember, and the first match ever IPL match was between Kolkata Knight Riders and Royal Challengers Bangalore. And Brendon McCullum lit the IPL on fire. He scored 158 not out, and till today, it is the only one of the two 150 plus scores in IPL. The highest was Chris Gale 175, and the second is still Brendon McCullum 158 not out. And he was just excellent. He was very strong on the offside. He used to play the lofted drives really well. He was really strong over the cover region and square drives as well. Really was a fierce square cutter of the ball, and obviously had an excellent pull shot being from New Zealand, and he used to play all around the wicket. And he was extremely difficult to bowl to, and he was almost impossible to bowl to when he was in full swing. And in that 2015 World Cup semi-finals against South Africa, New Zealand had a stiff target to chase. For it was a rain-shortened match, and he was going all guns blazing. He's the main reason why New Zealand won, even though Grant Elliott also played that excellent innings. And he was impossible to bowl to. And in 2010, once I remember, against Australia in 2010, he played that ram shot. The ram shot that was made famous by Dilshan as well. He played two ram shots of Sean Tate, who was extremely fast. If people remember, who used to bowl 150 plus. He played two ram shots over Brad Haddin's head for 6. And Australia had all sorts of trouble, and they even had a backstop fielder for Brendon McCullum because he was unstoppable. And something that I'll never forget, when Phil Hughes died 27th November in 2014, I was in South Africa, and I remember the next day Australia and New Zealand and Pakistan were playing, and the one day was abandoned. And Brendon McCullum did deliver a very emotional tribute speech for Phil Hughes. And I remember I was at a public place and I was watching, and he was batting on around 30. But I saw a couple of fours that he hit, and I messaged friends in South Africa, and I said that I feel that the spirit of Phil Hughes is inside Brendon McCullum and he's going to score a double hundred. I said that when he was around 25 to 30, and he scored a double century that day. I mean, that was the fourth fastest double century. He didn't even celebrate his double century, and New Zealand won that match. They didn't bowl one bouncer in that entire Test match, and they didn't celebrate one of the 20 wickets that fell. And I'm just saying that code of conduct that he applied in the New Zealand team and the spirit of cricket was just amazing. And after the match, Brendon McCullum said that it was a very difficult test match to play. The circumstances after Phil Hughes' death and very emotional, and their minds were everywhere. But being Australia's neighbor as well, I mean, neighbors, New Zealand, I mean, they really gave a fitting tribute to Phil Hughes in that match against Pakistan. And Brendon McCullum is also the first New Zealander to score 1,000 runs in a calendar year, test runs, and that also happened in 2014. And he and his brother, everyone will remember, who has seen cricket in those days, Nathan McCullum, his is a brother off spinner who also could bat. Nathan McCullum also played for New Zealand. And Brendon McCullum was just excellent. I mean, his nickname was Bass. They say Bass Ball. And he is the current coach of the English cricket team. And he has applied his aggressive style of play in the English team as well. And he was just excellent. I mean, the way he played cricket, I mean, his aggressive approach to batting, his positive approach. I have always felt that if Brendon McCullum was a little more, but that was his natural game. I mean, if he was a bit more if he had another gear, like a lower gear, he would have scored a lot more runs. But he was just like in that mode of Adam Gilchrist, someone who would just come and play his natural game, and he had all the shots, and he wasn't just he was a very aggressive player, but he wasn't just a slog hitter. He had all absolute shots. I mean, he really had absolutely excellent timing. The shots that he used to play through the offside, I mean, it was as good as any top order batsman. Obviously, he did open the batting for New Zealand as well, but later, because of injury issues, he did stop the keeping job. And he did play for a lot of T20 teams. He was one of the most prized assets in T20 cricket, and there were a lot of franchises that Brendon McCullum played for, and he was widely respected all around the world. And he was feared as well for his batting, and he really made a big difference to the New Zealand cricket team. And he is involved with a lot of things, and he's an excellent person off the field as well, an amazing gentleman who always kept the spirit of cricket high. So I mean, just the highlights. I'm saying he's got the fastest test century in the world, 54 balls. The first New Zealander to score a triple century in Test cricket, the first batsman to pass 2,000 runs in T20s, the first batsman to score two T20 centuries, the first centurion in the IPL match, and the first New Zealander to pass 1,000 Test runs in a calendar year. And he was also the second ever New Zealand cricketer to be invited to deliver the prestigious MCC Spirit of Cricket Cowdrey speech after Martin Crowe. So I was just rounding up the highlights of Brendon McCullum, and I just want to say thank you so much to Brendon McCullum for entertaining cricket fans all around the world, and for playing your natural game and being such a brave captain, and taking New Zealand to a lot of big heights, taking them to the finals of the 2015 World Cup when there were a lot of other strong teams, and for setting and leading by example, and for being such a brave, courageous leader, and always being a gentleman on and off the field, and for being such a cricketer with such a heart. I mean, the way he delivered that tribute speech to Phil Hughes, and the way New Zealand played that test match where he scored that double century, and the way they didn't bowl a bouncer. It's all tribute to the amazing player, gentleman, person that Brendon McCullum was. So thank you so much, Brendon McCullum, for all your wonderful contribution to New Zealand cricket, to world cricket, and for being such an entertainer. And you will always be remembered with fond memories. Take care, and good luck with your England coaching job as well. Take care, everyone. God bless you.